Hi, Masters. Good morning or good evening, Masters. So welcome to day 14 of my time. As you all know, this program is a collaboration between IFSS and PSSM global platforms. So we are all in this my time journey for 13 days already. So we should all be proud about ourselves. So far, we have reached to this milestone. So every day with each, we are learning a different content which is enabling us both spiritually, and the speakers are also really wonderful. So I hope you're all getting this wisdom where you'll be able to implement that into our day-to-day life. So with this, so today we have our wonderful speaker, Gaurav Paliwal, to guide today's meditation and also to speak about how to overcome time and space constraints. So before that, let me, before inviting Gaurav, so let me invite Sunil. Sunil, please share us about about the research about this mindfulness.
Yeah. Good morning, Lavanya. Am I audible? All okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, friends. Good evening and good afternoon to everyone who has joined from different parts of the globe. Friends, from today onwards, we will start a small slot on some research bite. So we all have been knowing about meditation. We have been meditating. We have heard about mindfulness being practiced in different places. So there are a lot of research also being carried out by PhD scholars, PhDs, and medical doctors. And there are beautiful insights from these research, science-based research outcomes. So we are going to share a quick 2 to 3 minutes of bites from these research topics. So today we'll pick one and I'll share the research bite of one particular research. So we all are aware of this importance of introspection, right? Many of us would have heard about this term in self-introspection because this is being used widely across many psychologists, corporates, individuals, and many others. So today I want to share very fascinating insights from a study on meditation and how it might improve the ability to accurately understand your own internal states, your own self-introspection. So this concept is known as introspection accuracy. The very reason because psychologists always had this being skeptical about the accuracy of these reliability of these introspective reports. So that's a reason a group of researchers from the University of British Columbia from Canada, there's a group of researchers who try to do research on this particular topic. So they researched on 38 participants and cumulatively who have been meditating for a long time, almost for up to about 15,000 hours. So they interacted with these participants and tried to understand, did a study of this on this particular topic. So with this background, what they found was experience of meditation matters, because once you are experiencing long hours of meditation, the accuracy levels are really very, very high. So another thing is more practice, more intensity, and brain changes. So when you say brain changes, they discovered that there are various structural and functional changes like insula and somatosensory cortices. These are all outer layers of the brain. So they showed significant changes when these participants were subjected to different tests. Now, when I say tests, they were also subjected to tests of sensory levels from 20 different areas of the body, including brain and various parts of the body. So the research is conducted in detail and found these details. So the they also found that when you compare this with the non-meditators, how is it going to be? So they found a significant change in these reports. And that is when they actually came with this finding that there is a strong correlation between a meditation experience on this introspective accuracy, with expert meditators showing a higher level of accuracy. Now, why are we discussing this and why is this important today? Because these studies suggest that if you regularly meditate, practice, and you can definitely enhance the accuracy of our own self introspection. Because while meditating, we always dive into our own self. It's all about consciousness. It's all about self-awareness, and there is a lot of changes in the brain activities as well. So overall, these improvements definitely is going to help in the long run. So this is just a gist. I'm not getting into the details of the research. We can still talk about it later. So friends, that's the importance of meditation. So every day we'll try to bring a bite of this research and share the insights with you. Thank you, Lavanya. Over to you.
Thank you, Sunil. So before I hand over to our wonderful speaker, Gaurav, so let me just quickly introduce about Gaurav, few words about him. So Gaurav is an engineer by profession, and he is an experimenter by nature and so ritual by belief. He has learned yoga, kriyas over 25 years, and he has been practicing pranayama and meditation for the last 4 years. He has also followed Isha Foundation, that is Sadhguru's, and Pyramid Meditation as well. He has learned this in inner engineering in India and advanced meditation in Isha Institute of Inner Science, Tamil Nadu, USA. He has also spent the last 4 years researching about quantum physics to spread knowledge and awareness of meditation, specifically for youth. With this, I would invite Gaurav sir to guide us meditation.
Thank you, Lavanya, and thanks all masters for joining, and all the team of IFSS for inviting me, giving me this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to be in this group. A lot of research, new ideas, and always, as I say, or we all know that you don't know what you don't know. So that's the whole thing, that how you can, keep your brain tickle and keep moving forward in your journey, whatever your path is. That's the beauty, that you can follow what you particular passion may be within this spiritual world. So we'll start with meditation, and we will get in steps. So first we will relax our body, then relax the mind. We'll get into deep meditation just after a brief bringing whatever your affirmation is in your subconscious mind. And to get ready, you can take off your glasses or wristwatch. Be comfortable. So, masters, let's close our eyes. Maintain a gentle smile on your face. It instantly relaxes your vagus nerve, which is the longest nerve in our body. And the beauty is, with this simple step, immediately start lowering your stress level. So relax your facial muscles. Relax your neck, your shoulders. Relax your hands, your legs. And keep your spine straight. This is important because during meditation, a lot of cosmic energy flow through our body. Spine is really the highway for it. So the more free flow of energy, more healing for us. By now, your body should be fully relaxed. No stress, no stretching in any part of your body. Let's slow down our brain waves. It will help getting into deep meditation quickly. And to do that, a simple mechanism is slow down your breathing, which gives a signal to your body that you are safe, and it slows down your brainwave. So exhale as slow as comfortable to you, and inhale as slow as comfortable to you. So at your own comfort level, let's do a couple of minutes slow breathing. So maintain your normal, natural breath, just a little bit slower. Don't exert too much effort into it. Naturally, slower than usual. Your autonomous nervous system get this message that you are safe. Because if there is any danger, any alertness in the system, generally we cannot breathe slowly. In fact, it goes up. And this way our body, our brain gets a clear message. As we slow down our brain waves, we are prepping our body for meditation naturally. Just for 1 minute. Visualize your affirmation as if it has come true. Just feel it. It has already fulfilled. Feel that elevated positive emotion which is linked with your affirmation. Fill your heart, fill your entire body with that positive, elevated emotion. Just feel it. And now you should breathe normally. Now, to deep meditation. Dear masters, start observing your breath. As you inhale, as you exhale. Every inhale, let a lot of cosmic energy enters our body, flows through our nadis, and heal us. With every exhale, we let go a lot of toxins from our body. Again, it heals us. And hence, we call it prana, our life source. Keep observing your breath throughout the meditation. Your breath should be absolutely normal, natural, soft breath. Masters, it's okay if during meditation you get stuck with some thoughts. They do come. Don't fight. Don't feel bad. Just come out of it and start observing your breath again. This way, we stay with our breath, prana. Staying with your breath will help you staying with your inner self. Connect to your inner self. We are not worried about what we're going to do tomorrow, next hour, or later on. We stay connected with our inner self. The body is relaxed. The mind is relaxed. Just enjoy this time, observing your breath, staying with your inner self. Just relax. Keep observing your breath. So, no thoughts, no feelings, no emotions. Don't think about anything, neither your affirmation nor visualization anymore. Just stay connected with your breath. Keep observing your breath as you inhale, as you exhale. All will get benefit from the group energies, as every master is contributing to it. Stay calm, relax. Dear masters, let's rub our palms together. Place the fingers on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Slowly, very slowly take the fingers off your eyes and open your eyes. Come to your normal self. Come to your normal environment.
Thank you, Gaurav sir, for a wonderful meditation. It was so pleasant, and I lost the track of time as well. Hope our friends would have experienced the same. I'm really excited to know about how to overcome time and space constraints. Over to you, sir.
So, masters, let me share my slides and then we will. So, Lavanya, I hope everybody can see the slides.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So, today we'll discuss about, constraint, which is time and space. Now, this is something that we all, go through it one time or the other. And I mean, different people may have a different situation, different capacity, different level, but we do kind of experience such things. So the first thing is, let's understand what is space-time or time-space. And then we will see the scientific element to it. And then we'll see how we can overcome, avoid what's in our hand. So to understand space-time or time-space, we live in the space-time realm, which is our 3D world. And in our 3D world, space, which is to move from point A to point B, it takes some time. It doesn't matter what the distance is, less distance, less time, more distance, more time, or depending on how you go, but there will be some time consumed in moving from point A to point B. Now, when we say space-time in the 3D world, the space is eternal. And scientifically, scientist community has seen it, believed it, they confirm it that the universe is still expanding. That means the space is ever expanding, you can say. So in this, when you're moving from point A to point B, we experience time, and we experience it as a linear function, means the more the distance, more the time. So what is the issue here? The issue is we experience separation. That means from A to B means I'm away or I have a lack because I'm separated. Brain think that, will it take to reach wherever you want to be, whatever time constraint you have, whether the separation is in terms of distance, separation when the brain interprets and we feel, it could be in terms of money, the efforts, there could be a different perspective to it. And this space-based science of physics, when we say this is Newtonian physics, everything is known, predictable. If you take your senses away, what it will be then? What will be the situation? Because as you move one point of awareness to another, we take time, we experience time. Many times we feel, oh, I'm away from my parents, I'm away from my kids. I'm like, based on the distance, this separation comes. And this is based on your senses. If we take the senses away, then we cannot experience this 3D, because this is what is telling us the gap, the separation. Because here timeline is horizontal. Past, present, future, timeline horizontal means you can say, if my present is in the middle, that means the left side, you can say, is your past, the right side in that reference will become your future. They are separated and they are horizontal. So that means we are moving from point A to B to C. Now, what happens when you feel lack? It generates the feeling that, okay, I don't have means I should have. And then we want things. Whatever you own, the people around you, the objects, your work, your title, business, whatever that may be, everything becomes part of our identity. So it's always sometime, somebody, someone, somewhere means you are identifying yourself with all these elements. It becomes part of our ego. So to collapse that space, it takes time. Now, this is when the space is unlimited. This is ever-expanding universe. What happens when we talk about time-space? If time is primarily, now we are talking about the fourth dimension where time is the key. The concept of time-space is just one long present moment. No space issue, no separation. Like one big present moment. So when we were talking about space-time, we talked about how this, the laws of 3Ds and the senses and everything comes into play. We say, okay, how we go from Newtonian to quantum world really, if we want to go from space-time to time-space. Because till the time we are in space as an element, you are in Newtonian world. You have to come to quantum side for understanding or living in the time-space. Because when you have one long present moment, all possibility exists. Here you cannot rely on your senses. They will not help you. You have to rely on your consciousness, your awareness. Because senses limited up to the space time, but when it's time space, now you have to use your consciousness, your awareness to make use or to be in this zone, to be in the 4D realm. Otherwise, most of us, most of the life, we are stuck in the 3D world. That's the reason. Unless you make the switch, not easy to experience it. So when we talk about energy, when we talk of consciousness, what is consciousness or your level is just our energy, what we may represent it as frequency. Slow the frequency, lower feeling. Faster or higher, elevated emotions. And that's why when we say we have to improve or raise our consciousness, in other words, we are saying change our frequency. That's how you improve your consciousness. From slow frequencies, we are trying to go to the higher one. So, unless you change your frequency, we cannot move. So it's not distance. I can walk, I can take a vehicle, I can fly and move distance A to B. consciousness, our energy, our frequency is what we have to play with. Because time is eternal, time is now. Now, how can I change my frequency? Just by thoughts alone. Your thoughts, like we say in meditation, in spirituality, that your thoughts can really take you anywhere. It can become your anchor, means it won't let you move anywhere, or if you can work, if you can have that capability that yes, you can manage your thoughts, you can achieve anything. Because it allows you to change your frequency. It allows you to change your consciousness. With different frequencies, we can play around with this time factor, means different stages. To understand it simply, imagine, right? You're just listening to radio, whether you are driving at home, whichever way. You may like one particular channel. Maybe your sibling, your friend, they may like different channel. What do? They just tune to a different frequency, and now a different channel is playing. If you want another channel, you further change the frequency and the next channel will come. And if you like some talks or some music which is in that channel, you can listen to that. All you are doing is changing the frequency. But the wave, the energy, the message, the frequency, means the talk, the music, it's all there all the time. Which frequency you are tuned at? In this case, example, your radio. That's the music you're going to listen to. But all the frequencies are there around you at all the time. Similarly is our situation when we talk about time-space situation. It's one big eternal moment. Past, present, future. It's all in one moment. As you change the channel, if we can change our frequency, we can change. That means time is unlimited. When we say time space, now time is unlimited. It is one big eternal moment. All possibility exists at the same time. So in quantum world, there exists a possibility where all the solutions do exist. All we have to do is tune to that. Now, our thoughts may limit us. Our thoughts may become the anchor. That's where the work required is. When we say we are working on whether it's spiritual level, anything, we are working with frequency, means we are working with our thoughts. Sometimes we cannot see the solutions because of limitation of our thoughts, not because it doesn't exist. So if we can come to this level, again, how? Meditation, there are different ways, whichever way it works, whether pranayama, yoga, meditation, these are all the tools that, which is you can use for your sadhana and keep improving your frequency and hence your consciousness. You go step by step. We are limited. Again, when we are stuck in the timeline zone, we are thinking of the past, we are thinking of the present or the future. Past, even if it was good, it gives us pain. A good time in the past, when we keep thinking about it, oh, I was, whether it's age, whether it's your title or business, or you had gone there somewhere, travel. So if it was good, even if you're thinking of a good thing, it is past. Means, again, it gives you that feeling of separation, means it is gone. Present moment, it's so hard for most of us to enjoy, to be in the moment, because we are jumping straight to the future. Most of us, most of the time, we are working towards the future. So what you are missing is the present moment. So past, which is gone, future, which is not there, will never be there, because the only thing which is ever in front of us is the present moment. So that means we are always out of sync with time. You have expectation from the futures, whatever from future you want. That's just expectation. You are not in sync because you are in sync with the present moment. But are we really in the present moment? How many of us, out of 24 hours, how much time can we really be in the moment? That's a big question mark in front of us. So with respect to distance, I may have feeling I'm away, from parents, from family or kids, or I'm missing out the fun, I'm here or there. Or with respect to time, I'm stuck. I'm stuck because of my past. I don't like certain thing about my past. I can only wish either I did differently, someone else behaved with me differently, or we are trying to ensure that future is as per my expectation. And this becomes our key topic, which is pulling us away from the blissfulness, from our true, connection with our oneself, higher self, whichever way we look at it. It drains you emotionally. It brings the feeling of lack. It puts limitations in front of you. Certain time when you are not able to deliver something, whether it is for your family, whether it is my parents are, aged and I'm away in a different country, different city, I'm not able to do for them, or my kids, I want them to be this way because I have my own expectation. Whichever way, either is a feeling of guilt, feeling of lack, feeling of all this low level emotional energy drains us. So what happens in most of the time, we are always in the macro world. We are so familiar with, people climbing Mount Everest, distance between two planets. We are always thinking of thousands of millions of kilometers, big distance and big time. We are talking about how this universe was 100,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, what happened, not happened. We are looking into those big numbers. But when we talk of spirituality, when we are talking about this limitation imposed on us based on this time factor or the space factor, the reality is what we are missing is the micro. So no need of, just stuck with the macro, which is you're talking of universe and all big sizes, but are we really looking inward? And that's where this micron or milli with respect to distance or time is concerned. That means how small really can we get into in terms of distance? Whether we talk about our cell, the single small, the smallest unit in our body, which is cell, because cells make tissue, tissue makes organ, and then different organ combined, which makes system. And a lot of systems combined forms our body, this whole mechanism. But the smallest unit is the cell. Similarly, in terms of time. Now, why it is important, what it means, how it impacts us, let's look at it and what it's going to impact with respect to our consciousness. At the border of France and Switzerland, this is the biggest technological, if you see the investment, technological advanced equipment, if we say in the world, is this larger Hadron Collider. It's also called as LHC. What is this large Hadron Collider? What does it do and what's its significance? It's about 27 kilometer long tunnel, which is about 100 meters below the surface. It has helped us in observing new particles, subatomic particles, because scientists wanted to understand, the Big Bang, how this massive explosion that created our universe and all those things. That's how it started. They ended up finding new particles, and subatomic means like cell is the smallest unit in our body, atom. In general, we say the smallest unit is any particle. And within an atom, of course, we know there is electron, proton, neutron, but even sub means even smaller than those. So this was built in order to not just to find or create these particles, but the idea was to get into subatomic particles and see, can we really achieve the speed of light? Trying to reconstruct the conditions which existed right after the Big Bang. It's a huge tunnel, again, 27 kilometers, you can imagine, equipment which is trying to increase the speed of particles. Of course, subatomic means they're really small, but to this, like getting closer to the speed of light. They got up to 99.99999% close enough to the speed of light. That means they were able to increase the speed of the particle. And 99.9999% is so close to the speed of light that if you raise the speed of this particle versus speed of light from Earth to Moon, this particle will be behind the speed of light by only 4 meters. And you know how many millions of kilometers we are talking between Earth and Moon, and only 4 meters. That means it is so close to 100%. That means there is no other any object ever produced by human which comes so close to the speed of light. The closest one, which is the probe, they have sent it to the sun, which is only a fraction of 1%. Its speed is only fraction of 1, means less than 1% to the speed of light. And this is pretty much 100% speed of light. What are we dealing with here? Subatomic level, not at a macro, but micro level. And in doing all these experiments, they identified 3 new subparticles, means smaller and smaller as we are going. Now you imagine thousands of years ago, how our Rishi Munis or masters, they have described, they have found out the distance between planets or Earth, Moon, Sun, and all those things. From where they got all that wisdom? Not from the macro level, micro level. There were no such tunnels, there were no such equipment, at that time, 10,000 years ago. Yet, they had the idea, they had the distance and everything. So, how come they were aware of so much details about the universe, about different parameters, whether you say time, distance, whichever way we look at it? Because they knew how to get to the micro level, which unfortunately we don't know as we speak. We think we are highly scientifically advanced community, but were our ancestors much more advanced? But one thing is beyond any doubt, it's clear that it is the micro level that we are missing out. When we say improve our, consciousness, frequency, we are talking about, if it is really this one horizontal timeline, when we say time, space constraint, what is required? No sensor will work. Your own frequency means get into the micro level. Now, this experiment or this particular equipment made us learn that normal, what we say, Newtonian physics, these subparticles, when they discovered that cannot explain this. So they have to get into the quantum physics, which can explain the particles and certain behavior of these particles. So Newtonian physics, so far, what we were so proud of, and which is good, it is certainly, it has its own value, but what it brings us is that we don't know what we don't know. And the answers are coming more from the quantum physics than the Newtonian physics. All the feeling of lack, all this feeling of, that what we cannot do or what I'm missing out, and all this feeling of lack is coming from the macro, whereas the answer is in the micro part. Now, there was an experiment done, which is two particles, and it was separated out by kilometers. Their origin was same. Just like here, they will originate two protons, for example, and it's traveling in the opposite direction. And then they impacted one proton, one particle, with some electronics disturbances. So they will create certain environment for this, and they will observe the behavior, and they are going in different direction. They are separated out by kilometers. And still, because they originated from the same source, they could see that behavior of one is influencing behavior of the other one, though there is no physical connection. Now, is this the only one? Is this the only thing which, this is, something like in movies, they show that, okay, you are twins, and if you do something to the one child, the other child feels the same thing. And we think, it's just a joke or something. But now we are finding scientific community proving it out. So let's look at it one more from different perspective. Just in 2022, very recently, 3 scientists, they got this Nobel Prize in Physics. Jointly, they had different kind of, pieces of the pie, which they were able to resolve, but they were all working on this entanglement. But the basic work, in simple terms, if we look at it, what did they do? They have clearly, demonstrated what quantum mechanics really, can inform us, can tell us, can, kind of get us to the depth of this whole, the micro level, that how two particles behave like a single unit, even if when they are separated. That means they are starting from the same source, and they behave like a single unit, even when they are separated. And when one of the particle in this entanglement pair determines, what happens to the other particle, even if they are far apart. That means if they are, separated, then they are independent. Why? Whatever is happening to one particle should have any influence on the other. This is where, you may have heard many times, feeling of oneness, this whole universe, our unified consciousness, we keep saying. And then sometime, if you wonder, how do I believe? How can we prove when we say it is one big, universal consciousness? We have billions of people on this planet. I'm thinking something, I have my own consciousness. You are thinking, you have your own. Even in this session, so many people, we have our own, and then the world. But yet we are all connected. Is it a theory? Can we prove these experiments, these things science is proving now? Again, go back 10,000, 5,000 years, thousands of years. Our masters had a lot of these things very clearly known. They were aware of such things. But now science is just proving what our masters knew long ago. But the bottom line is, when we say universal consciousness, how do I believe? Now science, such experiments are proving it. So in other, one more perspective, if we look at it, which is, this is kind of there for a long time, you may have heard about it, which is that how the reality, any energy, any matter, when we are talking about, Because you see, when we talk about universe, when we talk about distance between stars or planets and all, we think it's a vacuum. It's not vacuum, it's energy. It may be dark, blackness, but it's not vacuum. It's all filled with energy. And energy is never alone. Energy, information, they go hand in hand. That exists beyond this space and time constraint. So what is reality? It's both energy and matter. And how do we know, is it energy or is it matter? 3D is giving you separation, but quantum field, there is no separation. It's all about connection. That's why we say it's a universe. So it's a one big unified consciousness. You can sense it with your awareness. And hence, as we do meditation, as you do your sadhana, you're developing. It's not that you don't have. We have certain, you may call it power, or you may call it skill, you may call it capability of sensing that. But it is not known to us. And hence, with the meditation and all, we are finding it out. Oh, wow, I can sense it. Small example. If you are doing, say, for example, meditation for the first time, you may not feel anything. But after a while, as you sit in meditation, you have different sensation. Someone feels some tingling, someone may feel something else, or maybe in your, Agya chakra or wherever, doesn't matter. Where is that sensation coming from? Now you are connecting to that invisible universal field. Now you are connecting and sensing that energy. That's what the tingling thing is, whether it's inside your body or outside. So what this matter is, and the experiment was, and this was in US, and they were having difficulty in coming to for this experiment to complete. But to summarize it, what they saw, they couldn't believe it, that, okay, when they are observing, then the matter exists as matter. When you take your attention away from it, then it converts into wave or energy form. So that means all the possibilities are existing in the electromagnetic form, how they are turning, how this thing is in the quantum field. That it is weird, like when you imagine that, okay, if I'm looking at something, it is as a matter, but the moment I take my attention away, it becomes in the wave form, means energy form. How can a matter, if atom is an atom? So to prove this, they did one experiment where there were two electron, kind of gun, which is emitting those electrons, and there were two slits in the screen. That means I have two openings in the wall, kind of, and I'm just firing electrons. So imagine you have, say, a tennis ball, and if you are throwing it out of any opening in the wall, you would expect that it will go and hit the wall against it like a screen. And then you can mark that spot where it went and hit the wall. So you will have some dots. If there are two such openings, you will see a band, two bands, wherever the ball hit, like it will be just a band. But when they perform this, and they were not looking at it, they just let the experiment run. Matter behaves like a wave. And when you have waves, you don't get one slit, you have multiple. Why? Because like you throw a stone in the water, any lake, river and all, and you will see the waves going, and then you throw another one and you will see the one wave is interfering with the another. Similar thing happens here. When it is energy, it goes in the wave and you have multiple interference. And that's what on the screen you see multiple bands on the screen, which is reflecting that in this case, it's not matter as a solid, it is wave energy. And this is where the observer effect phenomena was identified, proven. So matter is constantly changing its state. It's oscillating between matter and wave, matter and wave. And this happens at 7.8 times per second, so fast. Within a second, 7.8 times. So again, when we say that, okay, I want to improve my consciousness and all those things, micro level means going inward is so important. And that's where this, when we say of distance, not in thousands or millions of kilometers, we are talking about microns, means 10 to the power minus 6, means looking inward, inside the cell, inside the atom, because that holds the answer. Otherwise, we get stuck with our normal 3D zone, and we get that, okay, I cannot overcome the distance or the time. Now, what happens is when we say about the time and all, in 24 hours, how much time really we are spending on our growth, on our development versus, your day-to-day work, which is just either your job or, the usual things. I'm talking about someone, I'm commenting on someone, which makes no difference to my spiritual level. It's just gossip or it's just day-to-day activities. So sometimes we feel that, so many years I've been doing meditation, you may be, or so many years I've been practicing something. So it all depends, not only during that 5-10 minutes, but the rest of the day, what we do. And this will really enhance, it will really take us to a level where your capability of overcoming this space and time constraint. And once you overcome, that means, yes, now you can create your own future. It could be as simple as, when we say, okay, I have affirmation and I'm, creating my own future, visualization, simple tools like that. Some people have success, some people are not. Where is it coming from? Your own energy level. Now, to understand it further, there was experiment done. And again, this was in Cleveland, Ohio, USA. And the experiment here was that there was a group of people who were sent to gym. And you expect that, okay, if somebody is going to gym regularly, they are doing certain exercises, they will develop muscles. But then there was another group who was just sitting, doing nothing, visualizing that I'm going to gym, doing exactly the same routine as the other group, which was performing real exercises and real activities in the gym. So yes, those who went, they got 30% impact on the muscle strength. But those who did not, they were just visualizing, they got 13.5 without doing anything. Another one was, it was just, related to like elbow and the pinky, because, day-to-day activity, you are using these two joints a lot. So this was specifically on these two. So they said, okay, on just one finger, the pinky finger, the smallest one. And they said, okay. So again, they found 53% improvement, obviously, if they were doing it, but 35% just by visualizing it. It improved the strength. So how come just by visualization, I can impact my physical body so much? Because I did not do any exercise. But here, again, we are getting into the micro. That means you are getting into your energy, your own frequency, you are improving. And that is where we go above this constraint of space and time. Now, one simple thing on top of all this, yes, meditation, we know this may give you a reason to do meditation or improve your consciousness by learning, understanding, and being in the moment for throughout the day, not just for that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, whatever is your meditation. And the rest 23 hours, if we go back to the normal life, of course, you will gain, but the gain is temporary or it may take a long time. But if we can stay in the present moment, then we know all these improvements or experiments, what it is suggesting is how really we can influence who we are and what we may want to become. Why some people are able to do, where is that strength? We all have the same strength. They are not special. They don't have any different capability, whether it is in their body, cell, tissues, organs, than any of us. We all have the same. It's just who can understand and activate that feature, that, capability that we have. So the best way to predict your future is to create it. Why don't you create whatever you want? So what could be one more way that we can really, get into a zone where I can be what I want to be, whether I want to become a musician, writer, entrepreneur, whatever can I be? So one way, when we are talking about visualization, affirmation, look into your life. Whatever is bothering you, everyone will have different story. In the past, this happened to me when I was young, or when I was in school or university, or whatever part of your life you don't like. Either you did something to someone, you said something to someone, or the other person, someone else said something to you or did to you, doesn't matter which way. What is bothering you? What is hurting you? Change the script. Live your life, as per the new script. Say, for example, you said something and now you even feel bad. Why did I say this I don't know what I was thinking that day. I was angry, whatever, and I said it. In your mind, change the script. Change the events as they happened in the past. So if you said something, erase it from your memory. Say, in fact, new script will say you went and you talked to the person nicely, or whatever that is. Just change it and live with that script. This new character, this new storyline, this new history will create your new future. Why? Every day, knowingly, unknowingly, that energy, that negative energy is pulling you down, draining you. You are stuck in the past. So either time is pulling you down or the space is pulling you down. Means I'm away, and again, with away, or I cannot do this, I cannot do that, means feeling of lack. Even in the example, when we say, oh, I'm away from my parents or this, even when you go, you visit your parents, say you are there for a week. Out of that week, how many minutes or seconds you were really in the moment with your parents? So it's more important that whatever we are doing, we do it fully, rather than always in a complaint or in the negative, means lack mode, that I cannot do this, I cannot do that. And every time the same story we keep telling us. You can create your new feature, just change the script. So if something has happened in the past, rewrite it in your mind that that never happened. Take that negative energy out from you. Forget the constraint that either space or the time, whichever way is happening, the past, gone. I have a new story, that thing never happened. And focus on the micro. Macro, in certain case, of course, it's important. But if you want to improve your consciousness, your frequency, start exploring the micro. And micro is inside you, not outside. That means you have to look inward, which we do in meditation. And this takes you to this unlimited potential, unlimited possibilities that we can explore. But you have to go inward. All these microparticles, whatever it is, they exist. It's just we don't know. We have all these capabilities of fine tune. Just like a radio, we can tune to any frequency. Your pineal gland is your connection to the universe. Look inward, get to the micro, as deep or as small as you can get into. Yes, life is important. We are in the family setting. However, in balance, start exploring the micro to overcome this time-space constraint. Be in the moment, which will take you to all these things. And as you do more, change the script, whatever you think is draining you. Say it never exists, it never happened. I never said this to anyone. Just change it and then live the life with that new script. Of course, not to say keep repeating what you did before, but it will help you in improving your vibration, your frequency, your consciousness. So, masters, that was what I wanted to share with you, what has worked for me or what I have understood, how easily we can really change our future, our frequency, our consciousness, if we little bit being aware, use the science to our benefit, use the script to our benefit, and live this life freely. Back to Lavanya. If anybody has any question, I would certainly answer any clarification or doubts people may have.
Thank you, Gaurav sir. It was really a wonderful session. So what I have learned is like you said that time and space is beyond our senses, which I felt really a good way. Okay, it's beyond our senses. And also I learned that quantum field is like invisible energy, and though it might be in a different color, where you and energies always go hand in hand with the information, and which exists beyond our time and space. And to keep our energies high, I mean, we get energies, high energies in meditation. So to maintain it, so we should always be aware of our thoughts, our emotions, and change our thoughts accordingly if it requires. And I also learned here that we have to, like if you want to change our frequency, we can do it by just changing our thoughts. And also always start exploring in micro, but not in macro, to overcome this time and space. This is what I learned, and thank you, sir. And so I have a question here. So based on your personal experience, what has been the most challenging time or space constraint if you are faced, and how did you overcome it, sir?
See, the biggest constraint, at least for me, was me myself, because whenever you are trying to change something, you're changing your DNA basically, you're changing your thought process. So the biggest resistance comes from inner self only. 4 things I was working on. So 3 came relatively easy, but 1 was very sticky, And so who's the resistance? You yourself. So as you work, 2 things come. First is, why should I change? Right. And then the question comes, how should I change? Why part and how part. If you have both the answers, then it helps. Then comes the real stickiness of just you, your ego, or your consciousness, kind of fighting with, okay, like you want to take a toy away from a kid, and kid is saying, no, I will not give it, So that's what happens with us human. The moment these things are clarified, and in my personal case, being an engineer, probably that's why I was too much into, why, prove it to me, show it to me that it works, that kind of scenario. Once that element is satisfied, there comes a time, which happened with me, that after a while, the urge of finding why or someone has to prove it to me started going down. And that was really something which helped me. Because once the urge is going down, means now you are, in a way you can say, surrendering to the universe, means now you are connecting. That means, again, you are getting to the micro level. Forget about someone has to show a proof. Yes, initially maybe, but there has to be a time where you say, I have experimented enough with myself. I have seen different elements, not all, which no one can see all, but I have seen some flavors, some element that is enough for me to say that, yes, I trust, whether quantum world or, whichever way. In my case, it was basically quantum physics, which really helped how meditation works, how this works, what can be done, what is the potential, what is the true potential. And then it's just what we say, the first 3 chakras. That's where we get stuck, and you have to overcome those human nature, whatever, whether it's a trauma, whether it is some guilt, whether it is some, whatever is, again, everybody will have different scenario, different issues to work on. But whatever that stickiness is, only you can identify, no one else can, because only you know what's bothering you. So that part of knowing, understanding myself that, okay, whether strength or weakness, this is who I am, and work with that. But that acceptance is very important, because without that acceptance, sometimes we fool ourselves that, yeah, I've understood, or I'm doing this, but you are not doing. So that tug of war is okay, but then continue, don't leave it. Eventually, your soul, the universal consciousness, your effort, they will all come. And one thing to conclude, I will say, you don't get what you desire. Universe will only give you what you deserve. So it is absolutely true. And it's not a bad thing. I don't want people to think, oh, okay, so, there's who will decide or not. No, what it means is my frequency ready to receive that or not? If I'm not ready, universe will not give me. It will let me continue work, more work, come to a level where I can handle that, and then go to the next step. There's no point talking about, PhD material to a grade 5 student. There's no way student will ever understand what even you are talking about. Forget about, digesting or making use of that information. It's useless. Similarly, universe will give you, but when you are ready for it.
Thank you, sir. One more question here, sir. So how important is mindset in overcoming time and space constraints? And what mindset shifts do you recommend?
Games of mind only, actually, because it's just our mind which can, make or break everything. Again, it's thoughts or mind, whichever way, in simple way, if we say it, is all our mind is generating based on who we are. When we are changing your thoughts, basically you are changing yourself. At some level, you are changing your DNA. You are changing how your cells, your body, your tissue, your whole mechanism work. So the way, at least I have worked on it, not immediately, masters, but give yourself time, but continue looking at a bigger picture. Yes, one can say, I will do meditation, whatever time you fix, and then I will expect certain outcome, or that's all I want to do, which is fine. Certainly you will do. In my case, I kept looking and I kept increasing or improving my horizon. So not only meditation, I understood what link pranayama has. Then yoga, and yoga means stretching. I'm not saying the entire yoga, because yoga is like an ocean, right? Just stretching part of the yoga, how it impacts my body, my mind, my thoughts. And then once you understand that, diet was a big part of it. I changed my diet totally. What you eat, how frequently you eat, what time you eat, there's a lot to diet. So alone meditation can get you there, but these are, like you are increasing the energy or your engine capability or capacity. So now you're going faster. So that's what I mean by looking at a bigger picture. Means as you feel comfortable, don't just stuck with one element. All the elements around your consciousness, around your spirituality, keep improving those elements. And diet, your lifestyle, is a very big part of it. And when you do these two, your lifestyle and all your spiritual, this part, yes, things will come more naturally to you. Forgiveness is not easy. So understand, don't just accept just because someone says you should forgive. So yes, every week, at least 10 to 20 hours I spend on research on different topics for my own sake. That helps me in expanding, or the broadening the horizon, and understanding how these different things come together. So based on your personal level individually, I would recommend go in the depth of what is good for you, because everyone is different. Your time, your capability, or interest may be different. But if you have interest, sky's the limit.
Thank you, sir. So one of a question from our participants. Time is an illusion. It's a question from Sandeep Kumar. Time is an illusion. Can you explain that a bit more, sir?
See, again, time you can see from two different perspectives as what we were talking about. Either you can take it as space-time or time-space. So which one is primary? When we are in the space-time mode, 3D mode, then space is the main, which is, your ever-expanding universe. And if you can go to the 4th D, which is time, space means time is your key. When time is a one big pause, that means all the past, present, future is just one vertical line. It's no more horizontal. It's a vertical line. That's where when we say all the frequencies are there, wherever you tune, you can get to that level. So when people say time is an illusion, again, depends on who says. That could be one factor. You can, switch to the 4th D, and then you will see that time will not pose those, what we say, anchor, right? Like distance poses the anchor that, okay, I'm away, I have a feeling of lack. Similarly, time does too. But if you overcome that, that means you're not thinking that, oh my God, I'm at this age, I have, only so much life left, or I have to get this thing done by this age, or whatever that element is. Time is putting pressure on you. When you overcome that, one thing is certainly key, at least from my perspective, from my own experiences. What is more important, your spiritual journey or your life as a materialistic or as a body human? So you are catering to your body or your spirit, means inner self. If it is your inner self, then don't worry about the age or anything. It really doesn't matter. Some people, they can do within a couple of years so much progress in spirituality, whereas someone can spend whole life, but you are divided. You are all over the place. Your progress will be less. So first, I think decision should come who you want to cater to, your physical body or your soul. If you are catering to your soul, not just that, okay, it's a cool thing, it's a right thing to do, and this is what everybody says. No, you have to really come to that conclusion. The moment you are convinced and you are aware why, what, and all those, then the time factor will go away from your radar.
Thank you, sir. There's one more question here from Lavanya Miki. Thank you for the introduction to quantum physics in simple words. While you did call out that we are living in a familiar family setup world, how easy have you experienced the forgetting the earlier experience, which will take us to a micro level?
So again, this is something which is very rewarding, but we cannot jump directly to it. And again, in my case, first I understood all the topics in details. Example, I talked about forgiveness. First of all, why forgiveness? How to do? People, you may hear people saying and all, oh yeah, just do it. Or there are different ways people do say. So you have to first understand it really clearly. Now, there is a switch. Because when people do forgiveness, the first hurdle comes initially when you are new to your sadhana or consciousness. We feel as if I'm forgiving someone, I'm doing that person a favor. And because of the hurt, you feel, how can I favor this person? There's no way. So that is the first switch. You are not doing anything for anyone. You're just doing for you yourself. So once that switch really takes place, rest becomes easy. You know whatever you're doing for your soul. Another thing which really helped me was, as I was expanding my awareness. I did a couple of workshops with the basically Robert Shaw's on soul plan or rebirth planning and all. And a lot of understanding got, kind of improved, or I was aware of things, how it works. So different elements, when you combine and look at a bigger picture, it allows you to understand the big picture that, okay, this is what happened, who asked for it? Okay, if it is my own, if it is this, then it's easy to forgive, or it's easy to understand whatever happened, why it happened. Or if others are doing this to me, or whether it is your work, business, doesn't matter what, there is always element of anxiety or uncertainty, your family members, whether it's parent side or kids side, you are always trying to have certain checklist item, done, 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 or those kind of things. All those things will only come down in terms of anxiety or in terms of troubling you when you really start looking at a bigger picture. And the more you look for the soul, the more calmness and you can say not just patience, but the hints of blissfulness will come, and then slowly and slowly you will know what blissfulness means.
Thank you, sir. One more question. So does time create space or is it otherwise?
Sorry, say again, please. Which?
Does time create space or otherwise?
No, these are two separate, like you can take it as a space-time or time-space, which means either you're in the 3D world where you are stuck with the space as a main, right? Where you to travel the distance, you would need some time because you are going from point A to point B, where the timeline is horizontal. Or when we say time-space, then the timeline is horizontal, means everything is happening at the same time. But for that, you have to really sense it through your consciousness. You cannot do it through your normal senses. So it's not like I can jump right away. You have to work on yourself to get to that point.
Thank you, sir. So we have a few more questions. Is it okay to take, sir?
Sure.
Thank you. So it's a question from India. Thank you, Gaurav sir, for throwing some light on these complex subjects like time as unlimited and past, present, and future all exist as continuum and to focus on micro. Okay, yeah. Thank you, India, ma'am. That's a question from Anju. Can you please share some books or workbook or courses to follow or develop on this topic, time and space?
See, in this case, for the book or the workshop, it will really depend on the individual. Which part of it really you want to get to. Because there are so many subtopics, and the more we understand who we are, means just understanding yourself is the real key factor here. For that, if you have not covered already, then yes, forgiveness, gratitude, these two things should be the first couple of topics that you may want to work on. To understand the bigger picture, after this, try and understand soul plan or pre-birth planning. It will help you in understanding whatever is happening, why it's happening, and all those things. And keep working on yourself, means understanding yourself. Only you can say, okay, these are my characteristic. Characteristic means, okay, I'm fearful of this, or I'm always anxiety I'm having because of this, whatever that thing is. It's not that anybody is working on 50 items. Generally, the soul works on only a couple of emotions at any given time. So try and understand what's happening in your life. What's the indication from universe, and then pick the topic and go a little deeper in those.
Thank you, sir. I would like to unmute Vindhya ma'am. She has raised her hand. Vindhya ma'am, you can speak.
Thank you, Lavanya. And thank you, Gaurav sir. I was going to type the question, but as I was typing, you started talking about it. I was going to ask you about age. I know you talked about time, and you said, time is unlimited. But then I was going to ask age, and you mentioned about age, like when we start thinking about time as limited, and then we think of our age. It is hard. I mean, I understand when you're trying to stay focused inward and we are working more on our soul, not about just the limited time we have with this body. But it's still a partnership, right? Because you keep saying good food, good exercise, everything. How can we balance? I mean, I feel like when I'm trying to go in, I still try to do out, but there's a disconnect. So can you or is this the time that I focus more right now inward, and then outward will automatically, not automatically, but follow easier? Do you understand what I'm asking?
First part, if you could repeat, Vindhya ji, what is your main, like from the age respect, what were you saying? Like, what is the constraint, or what's the part
I
of
was
it?
going to ask earlier too, like, the question, yes, I don't see time. If I start thinking of time as unlimited, because our soul is unlimited, right? Thinking that way. But at the same time, the body tells you it's it is limited. And still, there is something that you want to achieve, but you have to still take care of it, right? And you did mention we have to have good food and good emotions and good exercise and everything. I'm trying to ask you that partnership. How do when I'm going in, somehow the outward seems lost, and when I'm out, I don't know. I'm trying to ask you how to balance that.
So again, first thing I would suggest that if you cater to your soul rather than your body, that could be the first decision. But it has to come naturally. Like, it's not, again, just because it is the right thing to do and this is what it is. You have to tell yourself why. Why should I cater to my soul? Because that answer has to come from within. And the answer will come when you say, this has more value for me than that. Like, if you have to make choice between doing two things, you are in this session, you could have been doing something else. Somewhere you made a decision that this has more value for me, right? So similarly, that decision has to be taken, that, okay, which is more important? And again, it is not 0-100. We are in family settings, so it will be somewhere in the middle. The right path is mostly in the middle. And then we keep going slowly. Now, when you cater to yourself, the very important part comes detachment, other than what we have already talked about. Forgiveness, yes. Generally, it is very difficult to forgive ourselves. It's easy to forgive others. So we keep punishing ourselves. And then second thing, when it comes after that, is that, yes, okay, once you have understood what it is, detach in the sense you are in family setting, but you are not imposing your decision, your wish, your directive on others. And the third thing, at least that what worked for me, is understanding that, okay, if I've really learned my lesson, whatever is bothering me today, I should see a downward trend, meaning that issue should reduce and eventually go away from my life. That tells me, so without going anywhere, without any workshop or book or anything, universe talked to us. It's just that we don't know that this is the message or this is an indication from the universe. Once you develop that relationship, that whatever life is throwing at you, and we say, okay, this happened, that happened, whatever. Sometimes situations are very tough. Family, it could be career, it could be any other way, health, not easy. However, concept remains the same, logic remains the same. Understand why it is coming, if we can decode, everyone, only you can decode because you only know the detail about you. So that's where these small subtopics become so critical to eventually overcome this limitation of either space or time. Otherwise, we get stuck in our normal routine, the family and this and that. But detachment is not easy. You want to do for your parents, they're aged. You want to do for your kids. You want to do for your colleagues. And, that thing goes on. But once you understand, once you make first step, and then you say, yeah, it does make sense. And you can go to the next topic. But to your primary thing about the time part or invert this, the moment you feel success in terms of overcoming the one of the biggest thing which is bothering you, you will not think time as a factor anymore. Doesn't matter what your age is. Because as I mentioned, that's my understanding. Generally, we don't work on 50 items, just a couple of them, 1, 2, 3, whatever. So really, it's not that I need 100 years to overcome. Yes, we may be fighting internally and coming to that capability, that's okay. But once really you have come, it's not that you need so much time that how and where will I get the time. First is very important. That first victory will tell you that, yes, this is blissfulness.
Thank you, Gaurav. Yeah, I think I do have the conviction, that I want why I'm doing what I'm doing, but at the same time, just still struggling with trying to focus more and more within. Like you said, you have to raise your frequency, and it all seems to like I have to put in more effort to raise. Then the universe, when I'm ready, I think maybe things will show up.
See, like we were talking before, universe will give you when you're ready for it. When you, not just because you desire it, just I want, but when you're ready for it. So when a person will be ready, yes, it could be subjective, but there should never be a fear that what if I'm not able to complete this or in anything. So continue, take universe as a friend. The universe is never trying to punish anyone. That's how I play with this game, and let the universe give the indication. If I can decode, fine. If not, I keep continue and then wait for the next message. But don't doubt yourself. Let it take time. Doesn't matter.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Welcome.
Thank you, Vidya ma'am. We have one more hand raised. NL Wahate. Please unmute, sir. You're on mute.
Yeah. Morning, sir. Very nice explanation about whole quantum physics and present moment. I just one place I got stuck with that experiments, what I explained, double slit experiment, and even otherwise time space, how it works. That understood, but then this relation is how do we create our future only in the present moment? How does this possibility only happen in the present moment? That I'm not able to link it, means, not clearly understood how does that experiment has the relation with the everything happens only in the present moment. If you can throw some light on that, it will be great.
Sure. So see what happens. This whole game is the game of energy. And sometimes we feel how it is happening. Now, a matter switching between energy and matter at such a high rate, right? Means so many times within a second. When I see my hand, I see something solid. But the fact is, our cell or any atom, even if it is steel, it is 99.999% empty. So what that experiment has shown us is the behavior of the smallest particle, atom, or even subatomic, that how it switches between matter and energy. So if we are convinced that this is happening or this is potential, so then when we look into our thoughts, our frequency and energy, it should help in understanding that our body is nothing but bundle of energy. So don't take it as just physical. I have of course, this body will end in this life, but it is just bundle of energy. Take it as energy. Don't worry about the bones, the muscle, and all those things. That means whatever I'm doing in meditation, I'm influencing this energy. Now, we say when we inhale, cosmic energy comes. We don't know. I've never seen it. It flows through nadis. I've never seen it. So it is possible, at least it was for me, as I said, like I had a lot of this thing, why, prove it to me and all those things. Now, how do we, in today's scientific age, accept that, yes, it is just energy, whereas I feel everything is solid, how I'm sitting with eyes closed and where the energy is flowing. So basically, it connects those two dots that everything, even if it is matter, it is also energy. Any improvement that we want to do in us, our thoughts is energy. Meditation, we are working on energetic level. Pranayam is energy. Yoga is energy, because everything is balancing energy inside us. When we say Ida Pingla, left hand, right hand. So when we coordinate heart and brain energy, in our body, if energy is balanced, we are healthy. Anytime when energy gets disturbed, it creates some health issues. How to see your body as energy, at least to me, that experiment helped, because then it was very simple that, yes, I can take anything as energy, even it looks so solid to me.
Does it also mean that during meditation, otherwise all other daytime, suppose if we try to be in the present moment, this whatever the activity are doing, we put everything in that one and don't allow that thought to scatter. That also will have effect similar like a meditation.
See, what happens is meditation, at least we know what's happening. Say I do 1 hour a day, right? First challenge becomes, in meditation, I can sit calm, peaceful, and try to work with my thoughts. I cannot make it zero. No one can, right? But I'm trying to work that I reduce the disturbance of the thoughts. I can come back and observe my breath again and again. But that's 1 hour. What about the remaining 23? I'm eating, but I'm watching news, or I'm reading, I'm talking to someone. I'm never in the moment. If I do nothing, forget Ana-Pana-Sati, forget chakras, forget anything else. I do nothing, but I'm always in moment. Which one will I pick? So the answer to me is I will pick being in the moment, because that is meditation. Without meditative state, I cannot be in the moment. Because in the moment means I am not letting the noise factors, I have to do this, I have to do that, or if he says this, I will say this, or if he does this, I will. All that noise I have worked with. Then only I can be in the moment.
Thank you, sir.
That's a challenge to everyone. First step is to convince yourself. So if there are people like me, that experiment helped, that okay, there is a reason to believe, it's beyond any doubt.
Yes, sir. There's a question from Raji. Is it possible to spiritualize our daily activities of material life?
Absolutely, because otherwise we cannot exist. We are in family settings. So certainly we are not suggesting go to Himalayas and only then you do meditation. No. Stay in the spiritual world, but in the family setting. How you can bridge this, gap or these two streams together. And the simple thing is, again, decide who you are serving, your soul or your body. Typically, we say divide your time 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours in a day. Of course, you sleep, so whichever way you divide for yourself, for your family, and of course for society. So whatever you are doing, that doesn't mean family should be neglected. No. You have to do what your responsibilities are. But there is a difference. Like we were talking just now about detachment. Doing your necessary thing for the family is one thing, but dictating everyone that I am the head of the family, do what I say, that's a totally different story, which is away from spirituality. So spirituality actually helps you to enjoy your, you can say materialistic world or, physical world, whatever. People will love you. Initially, they may not. Initially, they may think, what's happening? You are going away from our world. We used to gossip and now you don't gossip. They will see you, something is changing. But then they will see you that you are always smiling, laughing, helping. Then they will love you. That makes sense.
Thank you, sir. There's one more question. Desire and deserve. We see many examples where people don't deserve, they get more than that because of parents, etc. So I think, yeah.
See, this thing is very tricky, Sadananji, and I can tell you one thing. Yes, the first three chakra will take you always in this case that, I'm unlucky. Look at this guy. He won a lottery or he got some parental help or, some heritage or whatever that may be. Good or bad. If we go by soul plan or purpose of life, okay, I planned this. If I decided that in this life, I want to learn how it feels to be in lack, whether it's lack of health, resources, whatever, then I planned this life. I should not be jealous. I should never be either afraid of going through this journey. I should never be, looking at others and complaining that everybody is having fun but me. In fact, that tells me that my learning is not over until I come to a neutral level, that I don't worry what others are having it. I'm just working on my own. But that's a journey. First, one has to learn what those concepts are. Then one has to accept and work on those are. Again, one more time, I'm saying, if you're working on your soul, you don't worry what the other person is doing or enjoying or not doing or doing wrong. You just focus on yourself. Then jealousy and all those things will go away. He got it free and I am working so hard. I am not getting. Don't worry. Your plan is your plan. Stick to it. The other person is only doing whatever doing to you is for as per your wish. You made it together.
Thank you, sir. That's a question from Dimple. Dimple, you can please unmute. Yeah.
Namaste, sir.
Namaskar.
My question is that sometime when we get angry all and sudden, what happened to us? Like why we do that, and we can't control, and we just wanted to get rid of our anger or somebody, and whoever in front of us.
See, most of the time, I'm not saying always because there could be a million different scenarios. Most of the time, when we are getting angry, there is something which is bothering us. There is something that we are not happy within. And at that time, it just becomes an excuse of take our, whatever that upset we are with ourselves, to take it on others.
So if it's my child, it's doing with me, and she's grown up, understand, but still she's doing that. What should I do? The way you said, it's something in her, maybe in her exams, stress or something. So I don't know how to handle.
So again, it becomes a little more complicated if we look into, say, soul plan or pre-birth planning perspective, right? If it is a contract between two of you, there is something that You decided to learn through the other person, and you requested to the other person, hey, behave like this with me so that I learn that. Right? I'm just giving a theoretical example. I'm not saying this is in your case because I cannot with this limited information, but this is the concept. So when that happens, we stay in the complaint mode about the other person. But if you pause and say, whatever the other person is doing, maybe I requested it as my pre-birth planning. What could be that I want to learn out of this? Say, for example, theoretically say, okay, maybe I wanted to learn patience. That's why I requested someone to, keep poking me, keep, do this, so that I learn patience. If suppose that was the case and you improve your patience level, knowingly that I'm working for my own soul, I'm not worried about XYZ, you will see the other person's behavior will change automatically without you doing anything. Why? Because now you have learned patience. If that happens, then you know you are on the right path. You are in the right direction. Keep
Yeah, I
improving.
am. But I was like this, I was young and lots of responsibility are in sudden. Like I was angry all the time. I didn't know what's happening. If my in-laws or my parents says, calm down, I didn't understand. Now I understand. Now I don't know. And I go through those things and I suffer, I cry. Now I understand what's happening to her. But now, again, it's her own experience to learn now. It's her experience, maybe, the way I
See,
experienced it.
you can only work on yours. Don't worry about the other. Doesn't matter whether it's parent, kids, or anyone. Otherwise, it becomes interference.
Oh, okay.
If it is yours and you improve, their behavior will change.
Okay.
Right? If it is their own learning, then they have to learn.
They have to learn. Oh, that's what my question was. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dimpleman. So another question related to this anger management. So how to manage when you are in angry mode in reacting to something?
to me, same thing I would repeat that I take it as if it was my soul plan. I have requested this person to be angry with me or behave like this so that I improve whatever I have to. Then it is my request, so why should I be upset with anyone? As a pre-birth planning, I have requested agreement between the two souls that, okay, behave like this. Right? So this is a very simplistic, like one element to it, but there is always a lot, but then you have to know more details. And individually, everybody should dig and see, is it just one person giving you this kind of hardship? Is it coming from different direction? Universe telling you that, okay, patience is what I need to work on. It could be communication that I need to work on. It could be that I have to accept people as is, right? Because I have my own biasness. It could be thousands of things. That's why one has to see and observe and understand this message is coming from universe. What could be that my soul wants to learn? Understand again that we are nothing but bundle of energy. Everything is possible. Only thing is identify, and if you are ready, work on it. But again, you have to look inward. Don't worry about outward thing.
Thank you, sir. Now I would invite Sampath sir to talk few words.
Yeah, hello, sir. Good evening. It's a very, very challenging subject. Thanks for bringing it to my time, participants. I know it's late, but I just wanted to quickly give an experience of mine, which even before coming into meditation, when I was working part time during my college days, I got a job in a paging service company. And that was my first day after training, where I'm supposed to listen to the callers and send the message as a pager message to people. So I sat and I started taking the calls one by one. I thought I have taken calls for 30 minutes, but I realized I was on calls for 7 hours. I didn't know that I was when people forced me to log out, then I saw out of the window that it was already dark outside. So after my log out, I was in a shock. My perceivable of, I perceived it as 30 minutes, whereas it was 7.5 hours. How did this happen? So that's when I realized that when you are totally in the present moment, you lose track of time and space. And one thing that can keep you totally in the present moment is, whenever you are involved in something which you totally love, you are passionate about, which you are enjoying, that can make you get lost in the now. So a lot of people have asked a question like, deserving and desiring. The moment I feel that the moment you love yourself enough to do things and be involved with the things that can keep you totally in the now, you deserve everything. That's what I feel. I just wanted to add that as my experience. Now, coming to my doubt, if you can see my the profile picture, Lavanya, can you see that, DP?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Sir, this is my understanding. This is after coming into meditation, after many sessions of meditation. I understood that, see, in this picture, the A to B is like, I'm far from the center. And maybe I can, for example, we can consider that as a physical dimension. The distance between A to B is farther. And C to D, maybe you can call it a mental dimension. In the mind, it comes down. So the more you are going to the core, I see that, 2 points of from here to there as space, or from this point of time to that point of time as time. Both are coming closer and closer and closer. And in these moments of timelessness that we are experiencing in meditation, and if we can continue to be there, I think we can experience that consciousness which all the masters talk about. In this picture, it might look as a concentric circles, but in meditation, I feel that the journey that we take is a little spiral in shape, where we gradually get into the inner dimensions and finally go there, where in the center, where you can have a 360-degree view. And maybe that point, this is only my assumption. Once you are there, maybe you have access to all the past and all the future. Otherwise, the astrologers like Nostradamus of 14th century, how could they see the Twin Tower collapse and talk about it, which happened in 2001? So all the seers, I think I go to that point. I mean, is my understanding close to any correctness? That's what is my question, sir.
See, as far as this understanding, I would say, depending on your soul journey so far, right? That brings the level of understanding of a person. So no two person may have the same concept or understanding, then it's still okay. That's my take on it, because no two soul will have exact same journey. Now, typically, the mind is so creative. If we say, hey, close your eyes and feel the white light coming, or feels, or imagine this and that, the brain start imagining immediately whatever the person is guiding it to. So the true thing is, when without any guiding, without anything, if you are sitting in meditation, you are observing something, then that is reflection of, say, your soul connection, or the level. Anything is okay. This is such a vast thing. No one in one life can ever experience everything. Even yoga is such a vast ocean that in one life for one person to do everything, I don't think that's feasible. Because it has so many elements, so many dimensions, so much, like even meditation comes as a part of yoga. I mean, trueness, right? We just think yoga means just asanas, but that's not true. So what you're asking in terms of your understanding is right or not. Imagine, or let's put it this way, we don't know what we don't know, right? Anybody can talk about certain thing based on so far what you have observed or learned or understood or read or seen, kind of thing. Tomorrow you may have totally new experience and your horizon will increase. So as the day and the week and the year or soul maturity goes up, your capability and your maturity, your experience keep going up.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you. Thank you for answering. And when Patriji asks in meditation to cut the thought and come back to breath, is it like cutting the thought? Is it cutting the time and space dimension, sir?
No, in my understanding, it is just leave the thought alone. Don't try to fight with the thought and start observing your breath again. That's my take on it. That means
Yeah,
I'm in meditation, thought comes,
yeah.
I don't have to fight. I don't have to say, no, 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 I will push you or crush you. No, just leave it. Say, hey, you are a guest. Okay, just wait. I'm coming back. And then you leave the thought over there. You come to your breath, start observing your breath. And after some time, again, some other thought comes. Same thing. Leave it.
Yes, sir.
Keep coming.
Yes, sir. One final question, sir. When Eckhart Tolle says thought separates consciousness, he says thought separates consciousness. Can you, if you wish to just talk about it in this context? That's my last question, sir. Thank you.
See, again, it again depends on just based on these words, if I have to comment, or there is a lot more, but as a bigger picture, your thoughts is responsible for everything good, bad, or ugly, whichever way we put it, right? Negative thoughts will take you towards negativity, positive, elevated emotions will take you towards positive energy. Your consciousness is your energy level. So depending on your thought, you are either improving or even going further down. So to improve your consciousness, your energy level, you have to work on your thought, not suppress, not control. You cannot control, you can work, you can manage. And as we keep improving our energy, and that's where, this whole body as an energy concept comes, your comfort level to deal with your thoughts will keep going up.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. And my question of last year of 369 is still due, sir. I'll catch you. I reminded you in Dallas along with Shibu. I'll get that answer later, maybe.
And I've thought about it so many times because I know my reply was that it's a session in itself. But basically, this is just Tesla. It goes back to the Tesla concept and what he used to, I mean, that's what people say, that how he has understood the value or the power of 369. And with respect to different phenomenon, different way when you connect the 3, 6, and 9, how it appears, like Fibonacci, how different, like when you have, when you look at any image of universe, right, you typically see that Fibonacci kind of concept, typically a chunk or flowers, or, there are in nature so many representation of that. Similarly, 369 about that how these numbers, if you work with, can really enhance your, you can say, consciousness. That's what Tesla did, and that's where his mind or that super capability came. That's what people say.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you. We'll have an exclusive session on this for sure.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Thank you so much for answering. Thank you.
Pleasure is on mine.
Thank you, Sampath sir. I think we're done with our questions, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for your patience and time. And you have answered our questions so patiently, and you have enlightened us with our topic, which is a complicated topic, time and space. I hope we have got knowledge about this, and we would try to apply and see to overcome this time and space. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and efforts.
Thank you, Lavanya. Thanks to the whole team of IFSS for inviting me. It's always a pleasure, and information or knowledge or this whole energy is two-way, so it's always like learning opportunity for me through different sharing of masters questions. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir. And I would like to thank to all of our team, IFSS and PSSM Global, both the technical and non-technical teams. Thank you so much for organizing this. Thank you, sir.
Hi, friends. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the friends joining us from across the globe. I welcome all of you to this day 4 of my time. I'm Prithvi joining from Bangalore, and I'm really happy that today we are on the day 4 of my time. And it is so very important that we all are taking out this time for ourselves and prioritizing and meditating every single day. It's been almost 5 days of meditation. I know that we all have been having a lot of experiences in meditation and a lot of doubts, a lot of challenges. So today is the day dedicated to actually address the challenges that we face during the meditation. So in the last 3 days, we have been seeing the meditation, the right steps of meditation, the basics of meditation, how to meditate. And the day 1, we actually learned about the observation, why observation is so very important for us. And then we got into the neuroscience part of the meditation. And yesterday, being the most special occasion, the Buddha Purnima, we got to know what exactly Buddha has taught and given us to this mankind as a precious practice to liberate oneself. And today we will be talking about the friends and foes of meditation. It is so very important as we have begun our journey in meditation. If we keep having doubts whether I'm doing it right or wrong, we cannot progress, and the doubts keep troubling us in our meditation practice. So today is the day where we will actually address all of these doubts, challenges, and we have a wonderful speaker and meditation master who's been meditating since 2 decades, the best person to guide us and help us with the challenges of the meditation that we go through. So today, I welcome Sharath to also guide us through the meditation. He's from Hyderabad, a corporate employee, and meditating since 2 decades now, and a friend and a mentor of all of us. And we know him. Hi, Sharath. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Am I audible okay?
Yes, very clear.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Prithvi, for a kind introduction, I would say. So, yes, quite a journey, 4 days, right? So, this is the right time to understand, correct our approach if our approach is not already, we have taken. So, today we'll take that opportunity. But before that, I would say, let's meditate. That is very important. Every day we start with this wonderful meditation session. So I would say settle down wherever you are. Sit with your mind. Do not send away your mind with thoughts or something else happening in another part of your life. Be present with your mind here. Do it very comfortably. Do not hurry. If you are in hurry, then mind will not settle down easily. You can dim your lights. And I would request everyone, do not expect anything in meditation. Do not try to recall anything. Do not try to remember anything. Do not make up any thoughts that, okay, today meditation is going to be like this. Do not have any objective also. What we need to do is, we just have to sit with our mind and observe. If anything needs to come into your awareness, it will come and you will know about it. We don't have to really conjure or make up our mind saying that this should be my experience or someone else got this experience, that experience. Those are all not important immaterial, right? So settle down quietly. No urgent works at this point in time. No hurry. Take a comfortable posture. The mind will be relaxed and comfortable when your body is relaxed and comfortable. So posture is key. So when you're sitting, take a posture which is very comfortable to you. Sit on the floor or on a chair. It is okay. You can cross your legs. Don't close your eyes yet. You can clasp your fingers like this. Loosen your shoulders a little bit. If you can sit straight with your spine erect, that is okay. If you cannot, and if you feel comfortable leaning, you can do. Take 5 seconds time to settle down in the posture. While you are settling down, observe the surroundings. Observe your body. Don't close your eyes yet. There are several things which will come into your awareness. There could be background noise, temperature of the room where you're sitting, sensations on your body, anything. When you sit calmly, it will come into your awareness. Let it come on its own. Feel very comfortable, relaxed. That is the key to meditation. Now take 5 seconds time to collect yourself. Stun all those thoughts which are bothering you. They are not required here. No calculations,